All right, you guys, you ready to chat? You ready to get caught up on everything that's been going on at the channel, with me personally, and learn a little bit about some of the things I've been loving and doing this month, and a little preview of what to expect in September. That's what this Let's Chat series is all about. Before we get into it though, I have to give a huge shout out to all of the new hymn-citers that came along and joined our fun little club. And that includes, there's a lot of them, so I had to write them down. That includes Mike and Claudette, our very first couple hymn-citer, which is so fun. Mike, legitimately, if you are a hymn-citer and Claudette didn't just use your name, welcome. Super glad to have you here. Thanks for watching. You are a rock star. We also have Wendy, Lisa J, Stephanie, Helen, Lisa F, and Ann. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, hymn-citers are a exclusive fun group of people that have joined my Patreon, and they have access to First Impression Fridays actually go live for them on Wednesday. They get early access to those videos, behind the scenes photos, live streams, we do Q&As, we do polls, all kinds of fun stuff over there. So if you enjoy the content that I have here on YouTube and want to see more of it, I strongly encourage you to check it out. I have a link in the description box that will take you to my Patreon homepage and will explain how everything works. But welcome to all those new hymn-citers. Thank you for joining, and I've enjoyed getting to know you a little bit and chatting with you this month. Next up, we've got a couple of updates. First of all, I want to address ads, okay? So, the way that the ad system works on YouTube is I choose whether or not I want to monetize a video. Most of them are monetized on my channel because this is how I make a living, and the ads help generate a very little bit of revenue for me. That said, beyond that, I don't get a lot of control over them. So you may have noticed in the longer format ads, like for First Impression Friday, where they're like an hour long, sometimes when you go to watch that, there's like 50 ads. And I get that that is super annoying, and I am so sorry about that. But in order for me to reduce the number of ads, I have to remember to manually go in and delete them. Like, the default option for those ads is for there to be one every 5 minutes, which I don't understand. I don't understand YouTube. Well, I do understand YouTube's thinking. They're wanting to put as many ads out there as possible. But for me, as a creator and as somebody who wants to maintain a decent relationship with you guys, I don't want that many ads. I don't like watching that many ads, and I don't want you guys to watch that many ads either. So it really is only happening, like I said, on the really long videos. So if you are watching a video and the first ad has run, my video has started, and then you start to see multiple ads, please shoot me a DM or a comment or something, and I will jump right on and turn those off. It's only a matter that I have forgotten to do that in the uploading process. I don't want you to think that I've done this thing that has made all these ads show up. I haven't done anything. In fact, now it's more work for there to be fewer ads, which seems counterintuitive, but that's how they're rocking it out on YouTube right now. I wanted to clear the air about that. It's not me. I promise. I don't want you to have to, sit through a gajillion ads. I just have to remember, and it's a new habit, and you know how all that goes. Also, I wanted to say, sort of on a down note, I'm not going to say much about it, but we did put Sunny down earlier in August. I put a little post on the channel which really says everything that I wanted to say. Oh man, I really thought I was going to be able to do this without crying. We just really miss him, Anyways, what I wanted to say in this video was to thank all of you so much. Dang it. what I wanted to say was just to thank you all so much for everything, all the things that you had to say. In that post, I asked that instead of posting condolences or anything like that, which is really just such like a downward movement and a downward feeling, I wanted to use Sonny's passing as a way to lift people up. I think that's what he would want. He always brought so much joy to everybody that he came in contact with. So instead of posting condolences and expressing, you know, how I know that you guys are sorry, I know that you guys are sad, we all are, you know, that's a given. But instead of doing that, I want you to grab your furry child, your pet. If you don't have any pets, grab an actual child. If you don't have an actual child, grab something and just hug it, love on it, scratch its belly, behind its ears, wherever it loves. Show it so much love, because I feel like if we start injecting a lot more love into things rather than focusing on the negative, if we could focus on the love, we will all be just a little bit happier and a little bit at peace. And again, like I said, I think that that's what Sonny would want. So thank you all for, you know, sharing your own stories about your own pets that you have lost. But most of all, thank you for telling me that you went and hugged your pet and showed it an extra bit of love from Sonny. So I think he could feel that, and I think that he would really appreciate all that love going out to all the animals in the world. So, man, I got the Sonny stuff out of the way and I didn't completely have a meltdown. So we are making progress. But the whole point of all of this, even bringing it up at all, was just to say thank you to all of you guys. We got hundreds of comments and it was just so nice. And I know you guys have seen him in the videos from the very beginning. So yeah, he loved showing off for you guys. He loved being in the videos. He'd always find his way onto the sofa behind me or at my feet. So there's a lot of good memories, and that's what we will remember. Okay, let's talk about some fun stuff. Hold on, let me like try and get myself back together again. Hold on. Here we are. Okay, what I bought, and this is kind of like a little bit of a teaser for my plans video that is going to go live here in a few days. I bought the Itch to Stitch Melrose top and dress. It's kind of like a dolman or grown on sleeve elastic waist dress that I'm using for, it's kind of like a sew along. I talked to you guys about this a little bit last month. It's an app called Graphy, where it's like a class, like an online class through an app. So the class is really geared toward very beginner sewists. Like the first chapter is going to be about sewing machines and which ones you should buy. So probably not for a lot of you guys, but maybe if you know someone who wants to get into sewing but feels very overwhelmed by everything that goes into that, you can tell them about this app and my class whenever. I'll let you know when it goes live. It's not live yet. There's nothing to show anybody. But you can show them this. And the way that makes this different is that it's broken down into chapters, kind of like a book. And then each chapter is broken down into little segments that are like 1 to 4 minutes long. So it's like, you know, that saying, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. It's kind of like that. Little itty bitty chunks of information given to you little by little by little. And then over the entire course, you will end up with a garment at the end of it. So it's actually really cool. I'm super excited about it. It is a ton of work. But I think it's going to be really great. It's going to live on that app forever and ever and ever. It's going to introduce so many new people to sewing, which is just really exciting. And it's all about garment sewing. There are a lot of classes about learning to sew. And for whatever reason, well, I know the reason. Those people choose to teach sewing through a zipper pouch, through a tote bag. And I get why. Because making a garment is very involved. And like I said, it is a lot of work on behalf of the teacher. But I just feel like if you get into sewing because you want to learn how to make clothes, making tote bags and zipper pouches just is not going to be enough. That's not enough instruction for you to then transition into making clothes. And I feel like that's where my very first thing was a tote bag too. So I know what that is like. And I feel like making that leap from those straight stitch kind of accessories to garments is overwhelming all over again. So this is really going to like nip all of that in the bud and give you everything you need to know to make your first garment. But in order to do that, I had to pick one that was very beginner friendly. And I feel like this one, almost all of Itch to Stitch's patterns have cup sizes. They also go up to 4X maybe. I don't even know. But they have a large size range. So I felt like it would be inclusive for all kinds of shapes and all kinds of sizes. And with it having no closures, no zippers, no set-in sleeve, pretty basic plain, all that you have is the elastic waist. And you can also make an option of a top or a dress if you want. Having lots of options in that regard, I felt like it was a really good pattern. Also, because it's an indie pattern, it is available to the world. And so the accessibility of it is really great. So I got the Itch to Stitch Melrose top, and I'll be making that for this app. It's gonna take me probably 2 months to get it all done. But little bits of it will be going up every once in a while. So I'll keep you posted with everything going on with that. You will for sure hear about it as soon as you have anything to download or look at. I will be sure to let you know. With that though, the fabric that I chose for it, I do want to talk about. Again, this is kind of like just a preview of the makes video, but I got the linen blend from Stylemaker Fabrics. How gorgeous is this color? It's called Ocean, I think. And it is the most beautiful mix between teal and navy. I just really, really love it. And it is a linen blend. So it has all the benefits of being linen, but without the wrinkliness, without the kind of granola earthiness. I'm not a big fan of that. So that's the fabric that I'll be using. And then I just got a cotton for the lining. The lining is just for the pockets. So this will be a fun little pop on the inside. So bought those two things. I also got, so I'm doing, September is National Sewing Month. Who's celebrating? Who's gonna be celebrating with me? I have lots of fun ideas. Again, I'll talk to you about a lot of them in the plans video, but I'm doing a sew along with McCall's 8020. So I went and grabbed that pattern when it was on sale. And I also got the fabric. You want a sneak peek at the fabric? It is a double brush poly from Joann. This sew along is sponsored by Coats & Clark. So I will be using their EloFlex stretch thread. So even if you feel like I already know how to sew a knit dress, maybe you want to pick this up and participate so that you can learn more about EloFlex, learn how to use it, learn how cool it looks, you know, all of those kinds of things. So that'll start this Thursday, like the 3rd. Yeah, September 3rd, it starts. So get on that if you want to participate. The first video is dedicated toward the pattern and the fabric and the notions anyways. No sewing in the first video, so you won't be behind. But if you want to order fabric or the pattern, you'll need to go ahead and do that to allow for shipping. Okay, this is turning out to be quite a long video. Okay, but we are at the rapid fire section, which is what I'm watching, what I'm reading, my latest obsession, and something new that I'm trying. So what I'm watching are the true crime miniseries on Netflix. I'm talking about Unsolved Mysteries, 6 episodes. They're all so good. cold case files, this one is good because it tells you about the crime and then how it ended up going cold, but every single one of them ends up getting solved. So it's good news at the end. And it's always interesting to see who ended up doing it, who ended up killing the person, because a lot of times, like, the cops had interviewed them. They were on their radar, and misinformation or just like good lying and, you know, all of that, they got away with it for decades and decades in many cases. So those are just really thrilling. I've gotten away from listening to the true crime podcasts in my car because I'm doing Audible and listening to books instead, which I'll get into next. So this is feeding my kind of true crime thing. Also, I did binge, Unbelievable? Is that what it's called? About the girl who reported a rape and no one believed her, and then years and years later the rapist ended up being a serial rapist, and these two cops ended up like figuring it all out and figuring out that that girl was not lying, and the whole thing, it is like acted out. It's not like a documentary or anything. It's like, you know, acted. It's a drama, but based on real events. It was so good. All the actors did an incredible job. You really, really get sucked into the story, and you really start rooting for everyone, and the way that they tell the story, kind of going back and forth, and how it's all weaved together. It was really good. I think it's called Unbelievable. So good. Okay, what I'm reading is called 28 Summers, and it is the perfect end of summer book. Basically, it is about a woman who meets a guy when she's in high school or college. They end up meeting up over Labor Day weekend to celebrate her brother's, like, his bachelor party. The guy is best friends with the brother, and so he comes to her home in Nantucket for the bachelor party. For other reasons, everybody else that's invited to the bachelor party ends up leaving. And so the two of them spend that first weekend together. And then, I don't want to give away too much, but they end up spending the next 28 summers together. Always over Labor Day. They do not talk or communicate or see each other in any way during the rest of the year. And it just takes place over those 28 summers. It is so good, so funny, so heartbreaking and heartwarming. You're frustrated, but you're like, I get it at the same time. It's really a great end of summer read. I have about 2 hours. Again, I don't go by the number of chapters or pages I have left because I listen. So I only know like time for somebody else to read it to me. I have like 2 or 3 hours left, and things are wrapping up, which is all I'll say about that. But it's really good, really cute. If you have some time, maybe read it over Labor Day weekend. That would be so perfect. But it's brand new, so it's really good. 28 Summers. Okay, latest obsession. If you follow me on Instagram, this is going to be no surprise to you, but it is cross stitching. And this is all I have to show for it right now because it's all like perfectly in my cool like hoop thing. But basically I am cross stitching this, which is like the alphabet, all with like sewing and knitting terms. So A is applique, B is buttons, C is calico with the cutest little cat, D is darning, so on and so forth. So I have this whole block done, and I have all the gingham done, and now I'm working on French seams. So the goal is, I had started this literally years ago, and it was just sitting around, and I was just thinking to myself, I have all this extra time on my hands from quarantine and not really going anywhere, so I need to be spending my time more wisely. So I decided that I would do 30 minutes of this every day, And what I found is it's very hard to only do 30 minutes. Once you get started, you just want to keep going and going. So it's actually a little bit more of a productivity buster than it is really helping with the productivity, but at least I am being productive at something and not just mindlessly watching television. I can't barely even stand the news anymore. So this is helping with that a lot. So that's the obsession. If you want to get it, I'll try and find it. I've never even looked for it on the internet, but it's Design Works, number 2731 by Krista Hamrick. This was like a kit. Oh, it's called Stitching ABC. I'll try and find it and put a link in the description box if I can find it. But super cute. And then what I'm trying is nothing. I did not try anything new this month. Kind of, sort of, the cross stitch is a little bit new because I'd put it away for so long. And truthfully, like before I'd even started this project, I had done very little cross stitch. So sort of. But other than that, nothing new went on the plate this month. Emotionally, it's been enough, as we've already been over in depth. So yeah, there wasn't much room for anything else other than just getting my work done, trying to find peace, and all of that. So I didn't pick up anything new this month, but that's okay. I'm not upset about it. It's fine. More things will come along and I will try them. My garden is doing really great, although there was a locust in it yesterday and I thought I was gonna die. I know locusts aren't dangerous and all they want to do is eat my delicious herbs, but the thing jumped out at me and I screamed bloody murder. I sincerely thought my neighbors were gonna call the cops because the way I screamed was like I was being attacked, which I was, but it wasn't a real threat. It was a grasshopper threat. But anyways, all the herbs are going great. Obviously, since the locust wants to come and eat all my herbs, they must be doing really well. I've been putting the mint in my iced tea that I make iced tea at home and been putting mint in there. So I have mint iced tea. It's bomb. I've made pesto, also bomb. I've got a ton of mustard greens, which I didn't really think that was an herb. I thought that that was a like lettuce, a brassica vegetable, but it came in my herb kit. So, and I looked it up and apparently you're supposed to just like make it like collard greens, which I don't know about that. So I gotta find something to do because the leaves are like this big. Anyway, so that's going really well. All right, what to expect in September? Like I said, September is National Sewing Month. I have so many things going on. I'm working with Coates and Clark on the sew along every Thursday in September. I am doing the graphy. That will be up in bits and pieces as it comes together. I have so many garments that I've made that have not been posted to the channel, and it makes sense when I sat down to think about it. What's happening is I'm making more than 4 garments a month, and if I only post makes on Mondays for Make It Monday, then obviously there's clothing that's going to be made and there's not a Monday to post it. So my goal is in September to post all of those, to get all caught up on all that, so you guys have seen everything that I've made. I also want to post some more tutorials. I've got a request in for the, okay, do you guys remember when I made the closet core, it's gonna be hard to remember, closet core patterns, formerly known as closet case patterns, Jenny overalls? Typically the Jenny overalls, the straps go down in the back and they crisscross and they just go into the waistband. But I made a bib for the back. So I've got a request to show how to make the bib. I've got a request to show my iris with the elastic waist. Someone requested that I get a tutorial on that. I've also got a tutorial on something about sleeves, but I can't remember. So a few requests have come in on those things based on things that I've made recently, based on things that I've talked about recently. So I want to get those all filmed and going and just really celebrate National Sewing Month with you guys. Really promote the beauty of sewing as someone who is technically in a state of grieving a loss, I've always been able to speak to sewing for mental health, but this month it really, truly has helped so much. So I want to, promote that. I want to promote, my story with sewing, and, as people are talking about sewing more this month than usual, if anybody remotely has an interest, I want them to find my channel and come join us and hang out with us and learn how to sew and, all of those wonderful things. So I'm really going to harness National Sewing Month as an opportunity to give a lot to you guys, but also bring in some new people as well. So I am really, really excited about that, because also after September comes the holidays. And at that point, it is just like absolute chaos in the influencer world. It is like everybody's just like throwing stuff at you. Talk about this, do this, do this, woo. So September will be my time for you and me to talk about and do what we want without any outside influence. And being the outside influence also benefits all of us because A, I get paid, which allows me to keep doing this. I also get a lot of fun products, but B, you guys get the benefit of all the content that comes from those videos. But yeah, after September, it is pretty wild. And then come January, February, we're talking about Sew Expo. They're going all virtual. So there's that whole aspect. And then don't forget, we've got Stylemaker Fabrics. Oh shoot, that's going in September. So Stylemaker Fabrics is doing their fall tour, which I will be participating in. I've got 3 videos going up for that. One is the swatch video, which I know you guys love. So the swatch video will be up 21st, I think. And then my garment that I've made, I think actually that will probably be in October, the very beginning of October. And then remember the video that I did this past year where I paired the fabrics with patterns? We'll be doing that again as well. So that'll be a lot of fun. So it's just, there's a lot going on. There's just a lot. So I will probably have a video every single day in September, including the weekends. Normally right now I'm doing 4 to 5 a week, usually Monday through Friday, and nothing on Saturday or Sunday. But I think in September I'll be doing Saturdays and Sundays as well. So I'm excited. I love bringing you guys content. I love, reading your comments and getting your feedback. That's probably like my most favorite part. So yeah, get excited with me. If you haven't already subscribed, go ahead and do that, because that way it goes into your feed and you don't miss a video. You might also think that you are subscribed and you're not. I know that happens. If you come to my videos always from Instagram or Facebook or Twitter or wherever, you might think that you're subscribed, but you're really not. So yeah, officially do that so that it ends up in your YouTube feed. You can just go to youtube.com. You'll get your feed and you'll see my new videos that appear in there, rather than having to wait for me to tell you how to get to it. Does that make sense? Anyways, this has been a very long Let's Chat video. I intended for it to be much shorter. So sorry, but also not sorry, because I think you guys like the long videos. But like I said, there's a lot going on, and I guess I had a lot to say. So that's what you get. But that's gonna do it for me today. Thank you all so much for watching. Love you all so much. Sunny loves you all so much. Let's remember him. Hug your pets, scratch their bellies, give them a kiss for me, give them a kiss for Sunny, and I will see you all very soon. Bye.